island where rivers run deep.
Where the sun sparkling on the sea earns it the name Jewel of the Antilles.
Once on This Island takes place on a fictional island in the Caribbean, and on this island there are two distinct lifestyles. So there are the villagers that live by the water, a little bit more simply, a little more in tune with nature, don't have a lot of possessions. And then on the other side of the island, they're called the Bouzones, and they were descended from the French, and they live a little bit more fancy.
It's the story of Ti Moune where she is saved by the gods in this terrible storm, and since she was saved, she feels as though her life has a purpose. She's a character that feels like there's more than just the labor land of the peasant life, and she yearns and dreams for more. And there's this stranger that shows up in the island from this elite lighter-skinned world, and she falls in love with him, and he gets hurt, and she's destined to save him, and that is her purpose. It's off the peasant side onto the elite side to care for Daniel. And it's just a story of how these two different worlds meet.
It delves into a culture that I feel like we sometimes don't as often get to see on stage. It's been very rare that I've ever been in a cast with just all people of color, all black people specifically, where we get to see how that plays out in both the relationships as well as in the music. And I feel like just the way it all comes together makes it such like a celebration of all those things.
It's full of amazing music, beautiful dance, and it centers around storytelling. It's this thing that all cultures have. It's that we think about our history and how do we pass it along so that we don't forget those that came, we don't forget how we got here.
In the show, we're dealing with two different worlds and two different styles of dance that we can bring into it. So in the ball, for example, we have a more lifted, elegant, proper style of movement, and that is the only time there's actually shoes in the show, versus when the storytellers and Ti Moune are dancing and we find a more grounded movement and they're dancing barefoot. So it's a fun opportunity to show that juxtaposition between those two worlds and how I can use movement to really give the audience the perspective of these two worlds and then how they come together.
I'd say percussive, because the music is primarily island mixed with a little bit of Afrocentric elements. So it's definitely percussive, both instrumentally and vocally. In fact, I think the cast is going to be tired of me saying percussive. Sing it more percussively. And then focus on telling the story. We have beautiful voices, but it doesn't matter if you have a beautiful voice if you can't tell the story.
I've had an incredible experience working with these artists in the room. We've been laughing, we're having such a wonderful time. Everyone is working super hard. Everyone has a really great attitude, and it just feels like the camaraderie is there to support one another and to lift each other up in the space. It's been great.
It's just so safe and supportive. Like, we love to see each other do our thing, and you can feel that so strongly in the room, and it's almost indescribable. Like, I love it.
The core of artistry and the mission of artistry, and really my heart, is to bring as many stories to our community as we can and to uplift as many folks, artists, audiences, to uplift us at a time where it's tricky. I want us to come together, listen to the same story, see ourselves in it.
Here's your opportunity to come out and support an amazing show. Of course, it is the first all-black show here at Artistry, but that aside, it's going to be an incredible program. It's full of joy and love and heartbreak and celebration, and I think everyone can find something in that to be moved by.
Come see the show. You're going to see a great performance. You're going to see a lot of color on the stage, and you're going to hear some great music.
Come see Once on This Island.
We tell